Hello, friends, and welcome to Shutty Uppy, Let's Talk King and Queens podcast. My name is Steve Lott, and we have an exciting show for you today. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Dusty Salisbury, who was like a kid in a candy store during the snowstorm in North Carolina last week. Dusty, how are you?
What is up, you demented old circus monkeys? I am doing great. In North Carolina, we get no snow. And if we do, it's like a little dusting, not even an inch. And we got about 5 to 6 inches. And of course, me and the kids, we have a big old hill in front of our house. We went sledding all day. So it was fun.
Sounds like a blast, man.
That's
Sounds
right.
like a blast. So unfortunately, our lovely co-host Jenna Maureen, aka Starshine, is not going to be with us tonight. She's not feeling well. She's very bummed because, as you can tell, we have a very special guest. So, but she does have some comments for us, and we'll read them later. Let's hope for a speedy recovery, Jenna.
Yes.
So today, like I said, we have an exciting guest for you. He's an Italian artist, actor, and producer, born outside of Naples, Italy. He plays several instruments and is very talented. He's fluent in English, French, Italian, and Spanish. He has many other accolades to speak of, but today we're going to talk to him about his appearance on the King of Queens TV show. Please welcome the very talented, and let me get this right, Antonio Del Prete.
Nice.
How was that? How was that, Antonio?
How you doing? Thank you for having me on your show. Hi, Steven. Hi, Dustin.
Yes, sir.
So, very
Absolutely.
excited to be here. Thank you for the lovely introduction, man. I mean,
Yeah, man.
How are you?
Yeah. So what have you been up to, man? I mean, we were kind of chatting before the show. So maybe let the audience know what Antonio's been up to in the last couple of years.
Well, since the pandemic started, I've been traveling. They shut down the United States, and I benefit of the 2 passports, double citizenship. So I flew away, and I've been around Europe. And just mainly traveling, visiting family, and working. I'm mainly concentrating, doing my art, and everything was shut down, no production, nothing to do in the business and show business. So I concentrated on my art, and that traveling and working. And then I get a call from you guys, and that is like it brought me back 20 years ago. And
Oh man,
it's beautiful there. It's like an archive of good memories. I love
yeah.
it was something extraordinary. It's a great experience to be on the show. It was fantastic. I mean, it was one of number one show on cable, I believe, with Frasier and a few other ones.
Yep.
So King of Queens was like one of the top. And a very, very stellar cast. I mean, it was a privilege to work with these kind of people, Yeah.
Nice.
So before we get into like our normal format, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you actually got the part of the waiter for this episode, and like how it all became, and like you said, it sounded like you had a good experience on it, but maybe you can go a little more into it.
Yes, actually, I came here in the year 1998. So this is in 2000, and I was trying to learn English and try to get some acting gigs and all of that. So I got a call for the casting for this TV show, and they were looking for an Italian waiter, and I had no idea. I had no script, so I went into the room and had no idea what I was supposed to do. All they wanted to know was like, "Are you really Italian?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." I said, my English was very, very bad, so it still is, but it was bad back in the days. And I don't know, maybe my goofy way to understand what they were asking me to do, and I was lost, and I guess it fit the character that they were looking for. Someone who was just making mistakes, a waiter that was making mistakes. I don't know. So I got a call back the same day, and there was a huge line of waiters. And for me, it was one of the first casting I was going through. at the time, and I saw this line of waiters, and I'm like, wow, is that many people go for the same role?
Wow.
And I was one of the last one. I stepped in, say my name, and I was just I didn't know what to do. Oh, Pat, take the order. I said, she was asking me questions, and that's it. And then she says, "Can you come tomorrow for the producers?" And I'm like, "Me?" So the day after, or 2 days later, I got a call back at a Sony. I think it was a Sony Studios, and they told me not to take the elevator, and I took the elevator. And in the elevator was the casting director, and she was looking at me. She said, "Antonio, you're not supposed to take the elevator." I'm like, I'm sorry. So I went up, and we came out together, and the producer were already there. Jerry Stiller was there. I think Kevin James. Yeah, I think he was. I mean, everybody was there.
Wow.
And they call me and they say, "Can you come in and do exactly what you did yesterday?" And I said, "I did nothing yesterday. I was lost." I said, "I don't know. What do you want me to do?" And that was it. That was it. They said, we're gonna give you a script, and then that's how I got the role. So I was just, I don't know. I mean, they were looking for some original character,
Yeah.
and they finally gave me some lines, and I learned my part, and that was it. That was it. And Jerry was Jerry was very, very good. He was a very nice person, very supportive. I still have his voice messages on my answer machine.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yes, I do, because it was a wonderful. I mean, for me, he was a very was kind of a legend. I mean, he was a very nice person, so I kept it. He used to call me after the show. He used to call me and say, "Hey, Antonio, we should." I mean, he was a very nice guy. A very nice guy. I had a good time with him. I was rehearsing with him and helping running lines in the in the studios, and yeah, it was a great experience.
That is
cool.
excellent.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple of actors and actresses on, and they all say the same thing about Jerry Stiller.
Yeah.
They say he was an excellent guy. He's so nice to everyone on the cast and everyone who would come on the show. And obviously your story is no different, which is great. You know,
fantastic. I mean, for me, it was very supportive. It was a very nice group, from the producers. Everybody was so good on that show that for me, I think it was my second television gig that I got.
Okay.
Really something different. I mean, it was like going into a family. And for me, when you go into a show like this, where the rhythms and then all the nuances, everybody worked for so many years together, and you're a guest character. You have lines, and you have to step into the rhythm, because comedy has a certain rhythm. For me, to respect, for me, was a great experience, because they helped me, metaphorically, how to swim with them. And then, if you're an actor, if you pay attention to certain things, you're like, wow, it's really, really nice. I never felt like I was an outsider. No. They want you to be part of that, and then you gotta. It's like music. You have to follow the partition, and if you get lost, we catch you there. Don't worry. I mean, it was fantastic. I never felt a second that I was out of the context. Since the rehearsal, they get you in, the director, the actors.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing experience. For me, it was my second gig ever in the United States, and
wow.
I landed this job, and I did at the time. I didn't understand the size of this thing, but it was a major TV show, and with major casts. So to get that exposure really helped me a lot, and I learned a lot. I mean, I guess acting is a job that is a craft that you really learn by doing it. I mean,
Right.
you study, you can do, but you really, really learn how to work by doing it. And when you get the chance to work with this kind of dinosaurs, then of the industry, and you catapulted in that, you learn. If you sharp, you learn, and then you say, oh, I mean, is it really a rhythm? It's yeah, and it's comedy. It's not easy. It's not easy. You're not done it if you don't have a training and you throw it in. You've been thrown in that kind of kind of cast and show. You got you got to think. I never thought. I just jumped in and they enveloped me, and then that's it. That was it. It's
That's
simple
awesome.
as it is. Mm-hmm.
It's great to hear because you were the waiter, right? It was hilarious in a hilarious part.
Yeah.
And it was obviously a huge part of that episode
Yeah.
because it basically all kind of revolved around. I mean, your actions as the waiter,
Yeah.
and just to hear that, not just you took it obviously very seriously, but they took it very seriously, and they understood the impact of that part on that episode.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, it was a very nice episode. It was a nice experience, and it was just for me. It was it's one of the best things I've experienced being here. I've done other work
Right.
in TV and movie features. I worked. I mean, I worked with a lot of actors. I mean, I worked in Mission Impossible 3 with Tom Cruise. It was directed by J.J. Abrams. I had Philip Seymour Hoffman. We became friends. Unfortunately, what happened? I mean, I worked with a lot of people in my small bubble. But this comedy for me was that week that I worked with these people was fantastic. Yeah, and I understand why they're so successful, because there was really something extraordinary that they created in that show. Really amazing. And for anyone, even for a foreigner like me, completely stranger, catapulted into this cast, you felt like you always been part of it. And rehearsal once, twice, and that's it. You have a live audience, and you were in, and it's like magic, man. It's like magic. Yeah.
How is it working in front of a live audience versus the rehearsals and things like that? I mean, do your nerves, do you feel a lot different? Is it something that you notice the difference, or I'm sure you have to feed off of that energy too.
Yes, I prefer, because I studied theater in Europe. I did the drama school. So for us to have a live audience, it kind of helps. Especially, I didn't know. I mean, in comedy, you need their reactions. It keeps you going, and then it's part of everything. It's like being a theater. And for me, as an actor, I love the live audience. I prefer, it makes me feel more alive, and it gives you kind of a responsibility on what you're giving. It says, am I doing right? Am I and it's good for me. The whole experience was extraordinary. I was in an American, studios with a major cast and great actors, and one of the number one comedy shows on television, a live audience. You either go on the other side, like you screwed up and you make terrible mistakes, or you're part of it. And that's what that's the whole point. This cast, this production, this show is something. It's like made up by an alchemist. It's a laboratory of comedy. That's how they create the comedy, and all these characters. They make the show unbelievable. I mean, I never felt like a stranger. No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can tell. I have great memories from it. It's great.
Now, was there like any bloopers in this? Because like with you and Kevin James and Leah in that one scene. I mean, there was some funny stuff said in that scene. I don't know if there was any you guys couldn't keep a straight face after stuff that you guys said to each other. Or...
It's impossible with Kevin James. It's impossible. The guy's like once. I mean, it's a very methodic actor actually. Method actor. He's someone that off stage when he's preparing is a different kind of. He's getting to character, but then once he turns on, you have it for the whole night.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't stop. And of course, off camera, I mean, that was hilarious. And my English, believe me, at the time, I couldn't pick all the witty sides. Then it was very, very funny. And with me, I was the new coming in the show, and I was a guest, and I don't know. I mean, nonstop. We were cracking up all the time. Not a second. Yeah, he picks up on you. Whatever you do, he will start, and then it's another show. You're thrown away from everything. But then, it was also a way to test me or whatever actor is there. How concentrated you are, how quickly you can switch on and off, be in and out of the scene. Because don't get me wrong. They improvise a lot. Sometimes they throw you things, then you're like, what was that? At them, they know how it works. But for you, then you're a guest star. I mean, you coming in like, what are they doing, So you either play with them or you look like, I don't know what's going on. But, after I was a week there, the whole week. After a few days, you understand what's going on in the morning, in the afternoon, and it's just nonstop. I mean, that show was nonstop, on camera and off camera. I mean, once you get on set, it's like you don't stop. I mean, it's constantly laughing and jokes, and I mean, it's a different world. Great.
So during that scene, so the manager comes by.
Mm-hmm.
It's you, Leah, and Kevin James.
Yeah.
The order. Well, first of all, so we're going to quiz you a little bit. Do you remember the name of the restaurant that you were working at?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. No. What was the name?
Fiorino's.
Fiorino's. Yeah.
See, I love the way you say it. I knew you were going to say it better than me.
Yeah, of course, Fiorino. Yeah.
Is that Italian for something or
Fiorino? Well, that means a few things. Fiorino, it means small flowers. Or Fiorino used to be the currency used in the 1400 in Italy, in Firenze, Fiorino. Okay. But mainly means a small flower, Fiorino.
Oh, okay.
Or it can be also a last name, is a lot of meaning. But it's very Italian.
Very Italian.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the manager calls Doug, like his nickname?
The manager?
Yeah, the manager. He was an older gentleman. I'm assuming Italian as well.
Yeah, he was Italian. It was from he was Italian too. We were both Italians. No, I don't know. No,
Mr. Green Shorts.
Oh, Mr. Green Short. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Bring all right, back some memories.
This one you gotta get because this was you. Okay. What did Carrie not want on her food?
Capers.
There you go.
I remember. I was traumatized. I'm like, who wrote? I mean, capers. Yeah, I ate with no capers. I'm like, well, yeah, I remember that. Now that's the way you ordered. Yeah, I ordered that, but with no capers. Yeah, well. Yeah, I remember that. No capers.
So we're Dusty and I on Facebook. There's a King and Queens fan group.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 38,000 people in it.
Oh my God!
And believe it or not, there's a lot of talk about capers in that group because of this episode.
Yes,
love it. Oh,
and
that's
and,
funny.
and people were, when Dusty announced that that you were going to be a guest on this show, people were very excited. They were very excited.
Really?
They wanted us to mention that Capers is talked about in that group because
It's all about Capers. Capers messed up the whole order, the whole the whole thing, the whole mood. They almost divorced because of the Capers. It was banned for everything. I mean, it was very funny. It was very funny. Yeah. That's. I remember that. Absolutely.
So another thing Jenna wanted us to ask you. Jenna's our third co-host, as I mentioned, and unfortunately she couldn't be here tonight. You and the waiter, or I'm sorry, you and the manager talk in Italian. Do you remember what was said, and if you could translate it for us?
Yeah. Well, I said to him at one point, I said, she doesn't even remember the way she ordered her food. And he says in Italian, says, well, don't bother. She's a little bit cuckoo, a little bit strange. Said, okay. That's basically our conversation. And they said, she can't even remember what she ordered. I mean, she gave me such a hard time. And he says, don't worry. She's a little bit cuckoo and she's a little bit strange. And I said, okay.
What was that word for cuckoo that he used? I can't remember.
No, he says "e pazza,"
Pazza, yeah, there we go.
But in that way, he meant that she was behaving like in a strange way. Don't listen to her. She's crazy, like that.
And that really sets her off. I mean, that really sets her off.
It's rough. Yeah. That was it. Very fun. I remember after the show, I had some of the producer, the writers. They were asking me if I was a real waiter, in real life, and I said, actually, I never served the table in my life.
That was actually going to be my next question to you. You did such a great job at it.
I had a roommate at the time that he was French, and we were both students at Santa Monica College on 17th Street at Santa Monica Boulevard. And his family had a restaurant. And when I got the job, I said to him, I have to be a waiter. How do you carry plates? And how to put my hands, have two plates. So when I come into the scene, I practiced the whole night. I come so wow, I look like I was really waiting. I had two plates on my hands, another plate here, and I was like, wow, it really come out naturally.
Yeah.
And I remember at the end of the show, they came and says, "Are you really a waiter?" I'm like, "Oh, I never waited a table in my life, man." I had to learn.
You did it very eloquently.
Yep. Thank you.
You did. I mean, it was great.
You were legit.
A lot of responsibility. You speak Italian, you look Italian. You work in an Italian restaurant. You better know the food you're selling. You better know how to serve the food and with the plates. So I had a lot of pressure, but
that's funny. You came through.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's funny.
Great experience. Yeah.
So you're pretty much in that main scene, and did you? I guess the question is, did Carrie order capers in your opinion, or was you know what I'm saying? If you're watching the show, do you think Carrie? Because Doug says no. He said later on in the episode, he says, no, you didn't order capers, by the way.
No, she didn't order capers. No.
No? Okay.
No. And
she thought she did.
I think the subtext of the show is that she was giving him a hard time, that he loved that place. It was his favorite place. And I don't want to stereotype, but sometimes maybe your girl doesn't want to go always to the same restaurant and is trying to make things difficult, and that was the night.
Yeah.
So He's like, darling, what are you doing? I mean, this is my favorite place. And she says, yeah, but I ordered with no capers and so and so. And yeah.
I'm gonna be.
Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be honest. Just to go back to the caper thing. Capers is like what? It's like an herb or something, or it's
Capers
like
are a little salty. I would call it's like peas,
yeah,
small.
yeah.
And Sicily is very famous for that. And you add it on certain dishes to give a flavor that goes with the pasta or olives and capers.
Ah.
There's things that we added in a lot of dishes in Italy. But I have a great line from Kevin when I said, do you want parmesan on your dish? And he says, great until you hit bone.
Yeah.
Wow, it was very hard for me not to laugh
Yeah.
because he said it.
Oh,
It was like just the way he throws that line is like hilarious. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
And you did great at grating that cheese, man. I mean, you really went at it.
I was home. I mean, I knew how to, but for me it was confusing because how am I going to put the graters in? Nobody told me anything. That's why at the end they said, "Are you really a waiter? How did you figure?" I said, "I don't know, man, but I had to keep going." So you are in the moment.
Yeah. You're a natural, man. You did excellent.
I don't know, man. They asked me, yeah. I mean, they did good. They cast good. They cast
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They classed it excellent on this
he's
one.
going to figure it out. But they were looking for someone who was a little bit, not as professional as that. I mean, it turned out that I was maybe more responsible for what they asked me to do. But in the casting session, they were looking for someone completely lost because I was lost. I was like, "What do you want me to do? The what? The where? What? The pen? What pen? What am I supposed to do with that?" Yeah, the pad. What is your pad? I say pad. I didn't even know what it meant.
Oh, really?
The pad? No, I was lost, and they said, "This is the guy we want."
That's funny.
So between how long was it between the time you got cast to the time you actually went on that week on the
Very
show?
fast.
Very fast. Okay.
1 week. I think when the casting now that now that I have a little bit of experience, I understood that they were looking for an original character, and once they figured it out that I could make or I could fulfill what they were looking for, they went very fast because it happened a lot of times in a lot of roles that I've been cast. When they found you and you have a certain originality, they cast you right away. I mean, in 1 week I was cast. I think I was one of the first one to be cast, as a guest star before the manager. I mean, my agent called me and says, "You got the job." I said, "That's possible." I mean, said, "Yeah, they want you." They send me straight to the producer. Yeah, everybody was. Jerry Stiller was there. Everybody. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah. Was. Mm-hmm.
Dusty, what else did you have? I know you had something.
No.
Oh no.
No, like he's saying it all. Like I love it.
You're pretty much answering all of our questions before we even ask it.
Yeah,
man,
it's awesome. I love it.
Great, Antonio.
I do got one question for you. What's your favorite Italian? I mean, you're Italian. What's your favorite Italian dish?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's difficult, man. So you know why? I'll tell you why. Italy, even though it's as big as California, but from the south to the north, the north to the south, the dishes are completely different. And I'm from the south. I'm from Naples originally. I was born in Naples, but I like any kind of pasta, man. Pasta, every kind of pasta is my dish, my favorite dish. I eat pasta every day.
Wow.
Nice.
There's a diversity of making it, and it's just good. It's like pasta. I eat pasta, and pizza, pasta. I mean, I'm from Naples. Pizza was born in Naples. people think I was born in New York, and I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
I was born in Naples, and when Naples was under the, and I give a little bit of history here. Sorry.
Absolutely.
When,
No,
when,
no, no.
when Naples was under the Spanish we were colonized by the Spanish. There was a lot of Spanish there. And when the Queen Margarita came from Spain to visit Naples, they presented to her this dish. Was like, it was a pizza. It had a tomato, it had mozzarella and basils, and to represent the Italian flag. And this was in the 1800, I think it was 1896, so around that time. And they presented to her, and that's why it's called pizza margherita, because it was presented to the Queen Margherita.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah. So that's where it come from. I was telling my daughter the story, and she says, "No, Dad, you're lying." I said, "Just Google it. Google will tell you the same story." That's where the pizza was first made, and then was how do you say, was altered after, in New York, and I don't know, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Yeah.
There's all a big, always a fight, and I could give you the difference between the Chicago pizza and the New York pizza. The Chicago pizza looks more like a homemade pizza, like my mom will make it. So it's a little bit thicker, and it comes out. It's cooked in a pan, like a copper pan normally. It's copper. But the New York pizza is more like the Neapolitan pizza. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's similar to us. Anyway, this is part of.
So there you go, Dusty. Because
Yeah.
Dusty's a big Chicago guy. I'm obviously from New York, not the city, but so I'm a New York pizza guy.
Just before I came in the plane, my mom made 2 slices of pizza, which looked like a Chicago pizza, and I had it in the plane. It's like thick like this because it's cooked under the conventional oven.
Right.
But in Neapolitan pizza, it's more like the New York pizza. It's very thin. The dough is more smooth and flexible. It's a different texture. But I like Chicago pizza too, because it reminds me of home when my mom makes it.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I'm gonna order some Chicago style pizza now. They got a place in Chicago called Giordano's, and I've had it ordered from Illinois to North Carolina, and I just pop it in the oven. It's so good. I love it.
God, I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
pizza is like.
I'm
I'm very tired. We can talk about food all night, man.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you one more question about pizza. So where you're at now, right? You're in LA, right?
I am.
So is there any good pizza out there, or?
Good pizza. It's it's a very, very delicate subject.
Yeah.
It's especially with me that I'm from Naples. My best friend that I grew up with is the pizza, the world champion pizza maker. Is it even possible? Yes.
Wow.
He's from Naples, 4th generation of pizza maker.
Wow.
And then there is a science behind, and we can talk about all night about this. But in LA, there is 1 or 2 places that they can make.
Okay.
I don't want to say decent pizza, because it's all about your taste. It's all about what have you been exposed to, and what is for you the pizza. But I come from the mecca of the pizza.
Yeah.
So most of the time I make an effort, and that's for my daughter.
There you go.
So we have to eat the Los Angeles Italian pizzas. But there are a few places that they're good. They're decent. They're decent.
Okay. They're doable. They're doable.
You eat, okay, I had a pizza. That was good. But now, after 25 years in America, I know what to expect. I don't have much expectation. I know exactly what to eat, where to order, and I know exactly what it is. But I make pizza at home, so I make my own pizza too. I buy the dough and I make it myself. So
I'm gonna need you to deliver some of that to North Carolina.
Yeah, man. I come over. I make one, man.
Hey, I want some real Italian pizza.
There you go. That's the deal right there.
Yeah.
So so besides obviously the parts that you were in on the show, what were some of your other favorite parts of watching this episode? Well, first of all, I'm assuming you watched it, right?
Yeah. The whole episode. Well, that's very interesting. For me, mainly, I mean, what I get out of the episode is relationship. He has a relationship with his best friend that works at UPS, and then he has a relationship with his wife and Jerry. And it's really you get the sense of how important is a relationship. It goes through food, through work, to family, and that episode is it emphasizes on the importance of the relationship, the family, friendship, and food. Where you find yourself, and you fight for it. You fight for the good food. You fight for the details, and that tells you a lot how people interact, and then how they share their emotions through food. And do you order with this? No, I order without this. How this is your favorite restaurant? Oh, but you always take me here, and that's because of the food. We're not going to go to bed tonight, and then are you going to be mad? I mean, it's very interesting how the whole episode. Yeah, it's all about relationship. Yeah, and then in the times we're in today, when you look at that episode and you think like, wow, it used to be very good. It used to be very good life back in the days,
Yep.
And that episode, I like it for this because he emphasizes on friends relationship, couple relationship, and family relationship with a little bit of food. Food is very important in everyone's lives. Where there is love, there is food, and there is family and friendship. It's all together. It's a very
deep.
I love that.
Yeah,
answer.
that was deep.
I really love that answer.
Yep.
Antonio.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get out of that episode for me.
Yeah.
When I watch it, he has. The writers were thinking about this, I think, and the whole essence of the show was that it was a family. It was about a family and all the important things, the little nuances that there are. Jobs, work problem, family problems, and relationship, and so and so. Yeah, that's good.
So, Dusty, I was going to ask you what you think about this episode, and
I don't know if I can go after that.
I don't think I can follow that either.
That was a great answer.
That was great.
Yeah,
man. I mean, seriously, you think about that aspect, and like you said, especially now in these times, it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Those relationships between family, friends, and the food and all that.
Yep.
So yeah. If you had to rate the episode, I know this is going to be a tough question. All right, because we always do ratings of the episodes. IMDb had 412 user ratings. They rated it at 8.0 out of 10. We do a Facebook poll every week, Antonio.
Uh-huh.
We had 41 ratings, and they did a 4.8 out of 5. So that's a 9.6 basically out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the folks on that in our group that we're a part of, that we're lucky to be a part of, really like this episode. So if you want, it's up to you. If you want to rate it out of 10 stars.
Oh man, that's 11.
There
Nice.
you go.
But you know what? Just to confirm what you're saying, people, by watching this episode, they are craving of this relationship, going to the favorite restaurant, talk to his friends, go to work, interact, having a normal life again. And that's probably why when they watch this episode, like, man, that's life, that's what it is. That's what it is. Work, family, restaurant, relationship, live. People wants to live again. And that's probably why they're rating, because right now, that's what I felt was this. It gives you a picture of what real life, was back in the days. And that's what we're missing right now. We want to go back to that, to have those references. That even if you fight with your girlfriend because you're in the restaurant and they show the capers, but that's a subtext to tell you how connected they are with their environment and everything around. I think that's what people are craving, and they want to go back to that. We will very soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a 10. It's a 10.
Yeah.
No, you said 11, so I'm saying 11.
Yeah, all right.
11. If there's 11, I'll give it 11.
11. So we usually rate it ourselves. Dusty, what did you think?
I love this episode, and after all the stuff Antonio has told us about this episode, it's I love it even more, which is awesome. So this is great, and I love how they stuck with Doug and Carrie had their own thing with the restaurant, and then Jerry Stiller had his own thing with getting the tote bag and all that stuff. I like how they separated that. So you know what? I'm gonna go a 10 on this episode.
Whoa,
I'm giving it a 10.
Dusty.
This is all for because Antonio just just made me love this episode even more, and it made it more authentic. And the way he described this episode, I'm giving it a 10.
Yeah, you know what? I'm giving it a 10 too. I'm piggybacking on Dustin.
Yeah.
All right. That was great. That's great.
Jenna's not here. She gave a rating, but it was before before your insights, we'll say, Antonio.
Okay.
So she I don't even want to say it.
She would have gave it a 10 if
she would have given it a 10. We'll just leave it at that.
Tell it to video conference with me, and then I would tell exactly the same thing. I would convince her.
There you go.
I would tell her. She can watch, or she can listen to
Yeah, she'll listen to the show. She'll say, you know what, Antonio's right. I'm going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
So,
Antonio, I got a request, man.
Yes, please.
For my wife, okay, she loves accents, and I'm afraid if she was on this podcast, she'd probably leave me if she heard you talking and all that stuff. So, can you say something in Italian for my wife? Anything?
Okay, I'm gonna say coming from you.
Okay.
Sei la cosa più bella che c'è, which means you are the most beautiful thing in this world.
Say that one more time. I'm about to learn that.
Sei la cosa più bella che c'è.
La cosa
più bella. Sei you are. Say. La cosa. The thing. Well, I think word by word. Sei la cosa più bella che c'è. Più bella, which means beautiful, that exists. You are the most beautiful thing that exists in this world. Sei la cosa più bella che c'è.
La cosa più bella
che c'è.
There you go.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's great, man.
Marry again.
Yeah.
Antonio, man, right. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So where can we hear this podcast and in the future, or when is that?
Yeah, we air these on Mondays. It'll be airing on the 31st of January. I'll send you a link for it.
I love it.
Now, we didn't talk about your art.
Oh, okay.
Your art is beautiful, man.
Yes.
I mean, your website. I was looking at your website. It's great, man.
Yes.
I mean, it's very touching. It's very, and after speaking with you, I'm not surprised, that you can, convey that onto the canvas, if you will. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Thank you for asking me. I didn't know I thought it was all about the episode, but I appreciate that, art involves a lot of things, which is cinema and television and art and everything else. I mean, this is what I do. I mainly focus on my paintings. This is mainly my focus in life, because I don't know. I guess life sometimes, you want to go right. All your life you push, you say, I got to go right. This is what I had to do. This is what I do. And then all of a sudden you just take it a little bit on the left, and you open a major door. For me, art was always a hobby. I come from a very artistic family. My father is a painter and he's an art history teacher, and my mom was a fashion designer. So I was born and raised in creativity. I could not escape from create, and doing things and imagining things. And so art, it took. It took me to a different path in my life, and the results has been unbelievable. I've been able to achieve a very very fast up on a, I mean, being with big artists and be in the art scene at a very high level. I mean, in 10, 12 years. Yeah.
Oh wow,
I've
wow.
been received by the Pope Francis.
Oh wow,
I saw a picture of you with the Pope. That was awesome.
Yes. I did a sculpture, and then I was received by the Pope. I got a phone call from someone who represented the Vatican. Yeah, the Vatican. That's funny. That's how my life goes. I play Mission Impossible 3. I'm a guard, security guard in the Vatican.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how life goes, right?
Yeah,
So I got a phone call from the Vatican. Someone representing the Vatican and said, "Hey, listen, we saw your sculpture, and we want to invite you, and then you should come. Not like this. You should come and meet the Pope, but the foundation that the Pope represents would like to invite you," and so on. So anyway, I ended up in the Vatican meeting the Pope, and I had a personal kind of meeting with him, and I talked to him actually for 5 minutes, and that was quite an encounter when you meet the Pope, because I said, what are we going to tell this guy, right? And when I met him, I said to him, I have a question, Your Highness. And he said, yeah, go ahead. What's your question? And he had microphones, he had 2 security guards. I mean, you have television cameras everywhere. They tape everything you say to him. Of course, you can insult, or you can say whatever you want to say to him, because it's just you and him.
Yeah.
Right.
So I said to him, Your Highness, is heaven a place or just a state of mind?
Oh wow.
And he looked at me and he said, well, my son, he said, you should know very well, because you fell from heaven and you came to earth. And then I said to him, I said, you know what, Your Highness, I didn't fall. It pushed me. It pushed me. And then he laughed. And then I understood that the guy, the Pope, was a very, very smart person, in a way where he can take everything from wherever comes. He's very normal. He's there. He laughs. He talks. And yeah, it was. But it changed my life. Nobody in my family ever met the Pope, and for the cause of art. And yeah, so to go back to art really changed my life, and get the chance to see a different world through the arts. It's another experience. Yeah.
I have a question about a specific print on your thing.
Okay.
Will catch villains for food.
Fantastic. Listen, for me, it's a metaphor. It's a Spider-Man. It's a kid. The Spider-Man is a little bit overweight, and I must have done this during the recession.
Okay.
And I saw that America was going. It's a very metaphorically, and then I thought, what will represent America now, as everybody's taking a break, is that Spider-Man is not at work anymore. There's nothing going on. He's getting fat. I mean, there's a lot of social political messages under certain of my paintings, and that one was the irony of an America who's taking a break, and the superhero is getting a little bit chubby, he's eating pizza, and he's doing tagging, spraying on the street. That's pretty much what was my intention with that. So
okay.
Yeah,
interesting. It's very interesting, man.
Yeah. But a lot of my paintings. I mean, I used to do social political paintings with a little bit of twist in it. But I stopped. I said I'd rather paint women, and it came out, this beauty to represent, to transpose the beauty of a woman, modern woman. I focus on that. But I mean, I'm an artist. I'm allowed to do everything. Nobody tell me, what are you doing? So, hey, I justify my actions by saying I'm an artist. Yeah.
So you can find Antonio's art at Antonio. I'll just say Del Prete, DELPRETE.com. And it's a great website. I mean, it's a beautifully done website.
Yes.
It's very, it's very catchy but it's very simple yet very, beautiful at the same time.
Thank you.
It's got a gallery. It's got prints where you can purchase some prints. And it's got your about page, which is I could have spent the first 10 minutes reading your about page. I mean, it was great, you know?
Thank you.
But I just wanted to plug that for you. Is there anything else you want to plug before we wrap it up, Antonio?
No, guys, you've been amazing. If you were close, I would invite you to eat. Say, come over.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm gonna take you up on that offer.
Yeah, I know. If I'm in LA, man.
That's it, man.
That's right.
We can talk about life, and you guys are amazing, and it's very enjoyable talking to you. And
well, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
man.
and we appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your company tonight, man. That's good. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be back, man.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, absolutely. It was my pleasure. It was
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And if you want to hear this episode or future episodes,
definitely.
It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. To the audience out there, if you want to contact us, leave a rating and review. It's Apple Podcasts. You can email us at kingofqueenspodcast@gmail.com. Dusty, we have our Facebook and Instagram and TikToks, and so what are those?
All right, I'm gonna do this really without messing up here. All right, so our Facebook is at Shutty Uppy, Let's Talk King of Queens. Instagram is at Shutty Uppy Podcast, and TikTok is Do Work Baseball Softball NC.
So it's a little curveball at the end for you, Antonio.
It's my baseball business, but I also put the King of Queens stuff on there too.
Love it. Love it. It's complete.
All right. Well, again, Antonio, great episode.
Yes.
Had a blast.
Thank you.
Definitely going to watch this episode again in a different light.
Yep.
Restaurant Row. And
you even got me teary-eyed when you were talking about the Pope, man. I got teary-eyed a little bit with that question you asked the Pope. I was like, wow, that's an awesome question.
I'm not even Catholic, and I was like, man,
right?
This is
that
great.
was awesome.
I need to know. I have a question, man. I mean, I'm not going to ask him what kind of wine does he drink. Not to him, I'm have good wine, but I had to know. I had to ask him a question. I'm like, what's going on, man? Is that a place or has a state of mind? Because I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
that was perfect, man.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
All right. So until next week, thank you very much, and have a good one, guys.
You too. Have a good night.
Thank you.